Hello again, everybody. This is Sam Alford from Pop Instincts, and it's been a while since you've seen me on here, and I've taken a hiatus of sorts, and trying to figure out, what kind of videos to do and things like that. And in the very first video I did a few months ago, I mentioned that I was a DJ, and I still am. I work at a radio station, WXMZ 99.9, in Hartford, Kentucky, and I'm going to put a link in the description if you would for the TuneIn app if you would like to listen sometime. I've got a passion for the music that I play. I do it's oldies, 50s, 60s, 70s, and it's just something that I've been fascinated with for years since I was a teenager. And I was fortunate enough to get this gig, and now I've been doing it for 16 years. So if you're interested in that music and hearing some stories, tune in. I'm here weekdays 6 to 10 at the station. But a regular feature of the show I do is This Day in Music History, and every day at 8 o'clock Central Time, I kind of go over some of the things that happened in history, and I count back. And I thought I would do a video version of it, a bit of an abbreviated version, because I don't want to bombard you every single day with videos about everything that happened that day. So I've done some editing, I've cut some things out for time, and I thought I'd run through the week of November 9th through the 15th. I'm going to start, or excuse me, the 8th through the 9th through the 15th, because I'm posting this on Monday, and run through the week and putting this up here, and we look back and talk about some of the things that went on this week. We're going to start from the year 2018. We start with a lot of passings. I'm reading right from my notes here in the studio, which is why I turn my head, but I've made notes of this and been doing this for years now. 2018, we'll just start off. We lost Stan the Man Lee, one of the men behind Marvel Comics, 2 years ago today. And we lost singer Leon Russell at the age of 74 on this day in 2016. Some of his big hits, A Song for You and Shootout on the Plantation. 2005, we lost wrestling great Nick Bockwinkel. He was best known for his work with the American Wrestling Association. Fantastic on the mic, and a fantastic wrestler as well. Wrestled very well into his mid-40s. 2005, also from the world of wrestling, Eddie Guerrero from the famed Guerrero family died at the age of 38 this day in 2005. We lost rapper Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan on this day in 2004. He collapsed in a recording studio. He was 35. 1997, Spice Girls had the number one album in the UK with their second album, Spice World. Now, that was supposed to be released here in America on Tuesday, November 3rd of 1997. I happened to be in a Target with a friend on that Sunday, and they had already put the album out. So I thought, so I bought the album and bought the CD, and I was hoping that they wouldn't, turn me down when I got to the checkout, because the album wasn't supposed to be released, but I got it, listened to it, and loved it 2 days before most of the public. 1992, Ozzy Osbourne announced his retirement from touring. He was on his No More Tours tour, supporting the album No More Tears, and he said, who wants to be touring at 46? If the pandemic, if anything clears up anytime soon, Ozzy plans to hit the road again in 2021. 1990, 30 years ago this week, Mariah Carey had the number one song in the country with Love Takes Time from her self-titled debut, while Vanilla Ice had the number one album. It started a 16-week run at the top of the charts with To the Extreme. 1990, two events happened this week. First, on the 14th, Frank Farron fired Milli Vanilli. Rob Pilatus and Fabrice Morvan, to be precise. They were the gentlemen in the band that appeared on the albums, appeared in the videos, and appeared in concerts, but they were lip syncing, and he fired them because they insisted on singing on their next record. The next day, he held a press conference confirming these rumors. Rob and Fab had not sang on any of the songs. They had to they gave up their Grammys and such. And this started some controversy because CNC Music Factory, as a matter of fact, was poised to win the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1991. Now, here's Milli Vanilli having to give theirs up. And CNC was going to win, but there was some controversy and some rumors about if they actually Freedom Williams, had actually, or not, excuse me, not Freedom, but oh, her name escapes me, but she was, accused of lip syncing and such, and so they wound up giving the Grammy to somebody else. 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall. This is important pop culture history as well. East Germany opens checkpoints at the Berlin Wall, and citizens could finally travel to West Germany for the first time in forever, and people started tearing down the wall. 1987, Sonny and Cher reunited for a performance on Late Night with David Letterman. I remember watching this as it happened. It was on a Friday night, and he talked them into Sonny had been elected. He was mayor of Palm Springs, and he was involved in politics and far removed from music. Cher is still doing her thing, and he got them to actually perform together on the show. It's a real great piece of history right there. Licensed Ill by the Beastie Boys was released on Def Jam Records on this day in 1986. Hold that album cover up to a mirror if you haven't caught on to that yet. You're welcome. 1984, Madonna released the album Like a Virgin. Kiss released Music from the Elder on this day, 1981, and this was their attempt to kind of please critics. Some fans kind of go back, and at the time, it was not well received by fans. Now, I think some fans ironically love the album. Some legit love it. I like a couple of particular songs, I and The Odyssey myself. 1980, Bruce Springsteen scored his first U.S. #1 album with The River, the double LP set, which featured his first big hit, Hungry Hearts. Well, not his first big hit, but he had a lot of success with that particular song that was originally written for the Ramones. 1977, the Sex Pistols had the #1 album in the UK with their classic debut album, Nevermind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. 1976, Kiss, back in this day in music history, I'm wearing their shirt. They released Rock and Roll Over on this day in 1976, the follow-up to Destroyer. 1974, Bachman Turner Overdrive had the #1 song with You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. And the song, it was really, the demo was released. It was a joke because Randy Bachman's brother, Gary, had a speech impediment. He stuttered, and the record label liked the stuttering in the song, so they released it like that. And Gary got over his stuttering shortly thereafter. 1973, Elton John started an 8-week run at the top of the album charts with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. 1969, Sesame Street made its debut on PBS on this very day, 51 years ago this week. Columbus, Ohio, 1969, Dave Thomas opened his first Wendy's restaurant. 1968, Yellow Submarine, the film by the Beatles, premiered in America. And in 1967, this week, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine was published in San Francisco, featured John Lennon on the cover, and it actually came with a free Roach clip. 1961, the Elvis Presley film Blue Hawaii premiered on this very day in theaters. And in 1957, two things happened. Jerry Lee Lewis, the single Great Balls of Fire, was released by Sun Records this day in 1957. And also this day in 1957, Jerry Lee secretly married his third wife and cousin, Myra Gale Brown, in Tennessee. And it was a bit too much for the public at the time, still would be today. And his career was never quite the same. Okay, and we also look at a few birthdays, so let's do this real quick. I've been here with you for 9 minutes. Wrapping up this week, Miranda Lambert is 37. Joseph Simmons from Run DMC, Run, is 56. Comedian Sinbad is 64. Whoopi Goldberg is 65. Randy Macho Man Savage, born this week in 1952, died in 2011. Lou Ferrigno is 69. Neil Young, 75. Frida Lingstad from ABBA, 75 as well. Tom Fogerty of Creedence Clearwater Revival, born this week in 1941, died 1990. Mary Travers from Peter, Paul and Mary, born in 1936, died in 2009. Petula Clark, born this week in 1932. She turns 88. Okay, so that's just a few of the things that happened this week in music history. I'm going to do this once a week anyway, and post it on Mondays. Don't forget to check out popinstincts.com. Haven't updated in a while, going to soon. And check out the Facebook page for Motivational Mondays with Mr. T. I'll catch you next time.